your name and who you represent, or if it's just your own.
My name is Clint Connor. I live in Minneapolis. I'm here on my own behalf and my family's behalf and many of my friends' behalf. First, I'd like to point out that it's fundamentally problematic to me for the first time setting foot in this room and seeing the committee here. There's not a single person of color on this committee. This is a committee designed for public safety, and I think the fact that it's not acknowledged that there are people missing from this committee that are important to voice their opinions, I think it's a problem. I'd also like to point out another problem I've seen, that is with HF 390, proposed by who is the public face for many of these proposed bills. I have a problem with it. It was proposed by 16 people, all of them Republican, all of them white, 87% of them male. Out of the 16 people, the average distance from their residence to the city of Minneapolis and the city of St. Paul, where these things happen, 86 miles. We have a bunch of people living far outside the city, far where these things are happening, telling us in the city what to do, apparently. Setting aside deterrence, whether this will deter or not, the intent is the important thing here. And the intent, clearly, is to propose bills, one after another, that get into the press and that will stifle free speech. This is a major problem. It's a problem that's stemming from our government in the D.C. area all the way here to Minnesota. We have a lot of problems here in Minnesota. One of the things is cold weather. We have a problem in keeping people here in Minnesota. And I think it's a fundamental problem and issue when we are proposing bills like this that are absolutely ridiculous, that are being floated around the national press and making our state look bad. And this committee and the folks who propose this bill are the reasons for it. Now, talked about deterrence and punishment. Did the penalty for DWI stop you from driving while intoxicated in 2014?
Usually the rule is going both ways. We don't interject backgrounds or motives or something. You folks have been excellent so far. Let's just keep it respectful for both.
Did deterrence stop you from driving 80 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone and up against other traffic while drunk with a 0.13 alcohol content level?
Sir, could you just get to your point?
My point is, what punishment did Mr. feel from that? I'd like to ask what
you don't allow questioning of the members here. We never have.
Your proposal is to move the penalty from a misdemeanor, which is a DWI, up to a gross misdemeanor, which are multiple DWIs. Yeah. It's absolutely wrong, and the intent is clear, and the people will not have it. I think that what you are missing here is that a bunch of white males can only go on so long running this state. And what we need as a white male are more people with a diverse voice and inclusion. And what we don't have here is that. I would accept any questions you have because I'd be happy to answer them. I would like to say also that I have been a resident of many states in my life and a foreign country. I was a resident of New York City, beautiful, wonderful city. The San Francisco area, wonderful place. Tokyo, Japan, absolutely wonderful. Minneapolis, maybe my favorite. And the reason I was able to convince my wife after 14 years of begging and pleading to move back to Minneapolis, St. Paul, is it's a wonderful place, very open and inclusive and diverse. And when we have people that live 86 miles outside the city telling us what should and shouldn't do, I think it's absolutely a tragedy. And you need voices that are representative of the city and that are representative of the people who live in the city, including the 18.6% African Americans and the 10% Hispanics. That we are here discussing this with all the microphones up here and no one with that background able to speak is absolutely a tragedy, and it needs to change right away.
Okay, thank you, sir. I just wanted to let you know that I don't make up the makeup of the committee. The people that elect you folks do, and we've served with people from indigenous background, Hispanic background. I think Representative Moran used to be here. Keith Ellison, I used to serve with him in the Public Safety Committee. People move in and out, and Representative Lucero?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I would just point out that my background is Hispanic, and I take offense to your prejudice looking at all of us and just skin deep. That's highly offensive, so I think you should put some thought into your comments.
Okay, our next testifier is Representative Pinto, and then we'll bring up another testifier quick. Representative Becker-Finn?
Just wanted to point out, I'm Native, I'm Ojibwe, and I was not offended, and I thank you for your comments.
Okay. We have, no. Xander Danielson Selty, Representative Pinto, do you have a
Just quickly, to the bills, to the two authors, have they requested a racial impact statement from the Sentencing Guidelines Commission? Have they requested a racial impact statement? Just to the point that was just brought up there, the Sentencing Guidelines Commission does do racial impact statements on proposed criminal law changes. Has one been requested to the point that was just made by the testifier?
Have we received any, are you folks aware of any racial impact statement? No.
I would, Mr. Chair, would respectfully if these bills were to move, obviously I hope that they don't, but if they were, I would certainly ask that one be obtained from the Sentencing Guidelines Commission before any kind of vote on the House floor, because clearly there are issues being brought up. We might as well have the Sentencing Guidelines Commission tell us about them. Thank you.
Okay, I know we received them before, even without asking, but I didn't receive anyone in this one, so. Representative Considine?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to speak about these bills, but I think what I'm going to do instead is read from email I got from a constituent. I did not spend nearly 2 years of my life on active duty in Iraq on 3 separate tours with the Army to witness the prospect of legislative action to restrict and punish public demonstrators. Please oppose this bill vigorously. I have seen firsthand what oppression delivers to people and the sacrifices of life and limb by soldiers. Best regards, Colonel, United States Army retired, Michael Rath.